You'll have to pardon the video angle, it's kind of awkward balancing it between two rocks, like jutting it in. I've just seen my third lizard of Australia. It's perhaps a blue-tongue lizard, but he just scuttled under this rock beside me. In fact, I'll show you where I am and then fuck up not being able to reposition, refix the camera. My spot in my usual park was taken by some people, so I've just found some other place which is actually nicer, and there we go. Oh no, perfect, kind of, that'll suffice. First week done, first week back at work done, and it was pretty good today. Didn't do much. In fact, it was kind of ridiculous because we took like 40 minutes for because we took 40 minutes for like a 15-minute break, and then lunch break was basically till the end of the shift because there was a long drive and we wouldn't have got back in time for the end of the day. So it was a pretty ridiculous day actually. Fridays are always an hour shorter, and we took the piss basically, and yeah, sound. One of the guys, Andy, little Andy, went up a one-way street the wrong way, and one of the members of the public sat on his lawn just looking out to the street. He ran up to him with his phone and started filming him to the front seat and shouting at him, saying, "You went up the wrong way, you're disobeying the law as a member of council, you should be ashamed," all this shit, which was quite hilarious. And then yeah, that was it. I guess I want to talk about Norway and Sweden a bit. I guess Norway, that's hopefully where I'm going. I've been learning a bit more. Today I felt a bit disheartened, I guess, probably because of my self-expectations. But yeah, I felt a bit disheartened, I guess, because I didn't remember some words and some phrases in Norwegian, and I got a bit confused at the different uses of you. Like for you singular and you plural, there are two words, and I got a bit confused, and so yeah, I just got a bit disheartened, and that's again the problem I have with learning things. I feel I must do it like first time and master it, and I guess potentially that's what I was talking about the other day when I was talking about hopefully if I can get some space and some real solitude, I won't feel as pressured to be so perfect. But perhaps that's just something I have to deal with even in a massive society surrounded by a lot of civilization. Perhaps it makes no difference, but I do think that if I'm in somewhere which is less strenuous and less information heavy, then I think it would have an effect on how I feel a sense of urgency with most everything. And yeah, another thing was Elliot sent me a video of this bird who kind of built a house in the middle of nowhere in Sweden and built it up, and it looks amazing. She's building a life there, super creative, yada yada yada. There was a guy I found last night who did exactly the same. It was basically a rinse and repeat of the skills video. I got looking into cabins in Norway, and man, some look beautiful. I was kind of getting giddy over these cabins and the possibilities. You know that there with these cabins, and some of them were already pretty done up and were only like £70,000, £80,000 in total. And yeah, there are probably stuff you have to, there are land laws and local council laws, etc., local government laws. Nevertheless, that as a possibility is pretty enticing, but some of them are so desolate, some of them are so remote, that I think it would entail a lot of struggle in regard to not getting lonely, not getting depressed and shit. I think if you were to do something like that, you'd have to have a real game plan of what you'd want to pursue, what you want to achieve there. Otherwise you could fall into a pretty deep depression pretty quickly, I think. I do think that the Scandic countries do have some of the highest suicide rates in the world, partially because of probably the never-ending darkness in winter, and also partially due to the weather, and potentially partially due to a lot of the remoteness, the isolation for people who aren't living in the cities. Maybe that's the reason. But yeah, I think if I did something like that, I'd have to have some big game plan and some projects, and have to really feel on my purpose, which at the moment I don't. Today I felt more down than I have done in the week, and I think that's just because of I don't know why it is exactly, but I think it might partially be due to not eating enough this week. I've been pretty low on calories, relative to what I've been doing. Like 24k biking a day, and then loads of hours of shoveling and whatever, forking and wheelbarrowing. Less today. But yeah, and today I woke up at 4 a.m, which I haven't done probably in years on purpose. And it was alright. I got a decent amount of Moby Dick read. Did some Norwegian, which wasn't as fulfilling as the last few days, perhaps because I've had the amount of the honeymoon period of learning a new language, which is slightly concerning if it's only lasted a couple of days. But saying that, I've never had such excitement with any language I've tried to study. All the other languages I've given a go, such as Spanish, which is only temporarily, and I don't know, French a little bit. I've all been like for the sake of it, and Spanish because I felt like, oh yeah, one day I'll cycle down South America, but there's never been any definite goal of that happening. But now I do have the means and the possibility, and it's not so in the distant future, of going and cycling down Norway. So that's given me something a bit more tangible to grasp onto. But something like South America, I don't have the money. It's fucked by COVID, and it could be for another year or two. You know what I mean? Yeah. But something like this, Norway, I do feel is more possible, and I'll see where it goes. But I was also thinking today that I would like to eventually do something with this web development, because becoming an author and making my livelihood, making my money, my income, cultivating an income through being an author, through authorship, is something that could take decades. If I really put my back into it, could maybe take 4 or 5 years, and that's depending on what kind of content I create. Maybe I have to focus more on sellability, which isn't what I want to do. I just want to be, whatever comes out of me comes out of me, you know. I don't want my main focus to be selling. I think that'd be dishonest, very dishonest. So yeah, it's basically unfeasible. So I think I don't want to have to go to Norway and then go, oh, I'm out of money. I've got to come back, and then work, not a shitty, but in my eyes a shitty for me, a retail job or an IT job that I don't enjoy, working for somebody else behind a desk or trying to satisfy customers and keep a happy face. That shit I cannot stand for a lowly wage. That's not my idea of fun at all. So yeah, I think I would definitely like to go into web development still, but at the moment it just doesn't feel right. And call me irrational, call me, weak, say whatever, you're making excuses, say, well, it's your life, you make what you want of it, and if you want to do it, then you can't blame your circumstances for not doing it. But yeah, at the moment I don't think I can sustainably chase that, can sustainably work toward it. In the evenings after work I'm knackered, and yeah, I don't feel like it. When all is said and done, that is the end of it. I don't feel like it, and if I were to do it, I think I'd do it and I'd get like all these apprehensions and all these feelings, all these expectations, self-expectations that I have. She is cute. She's not cute. Yeah, there aren't many. I've said this many times before, but a lot of them are. My friend, the guy I work with, Zach, calls them uggos. I was like, what the fuck's an uggo? Oh, ugly girl. Someone ugly, an uggo. I was like, wow. And a lebo is anybody Middle Eastern, because it means Lebanese, and you just kind of blanket statement them all with lebo, which is hilarious. Australia. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I think my kind of dream, I guess you can call it, at the moment, the thing I would like to be able to do is perhaps get into web development over the next 4 months until I go home. When I go home, maybe do a month of web development, get on my bicycle kit, have an amazing time in Scotland, come back, do a bit more web stuff, prepare for Norway, do Norway over a couple of months, come back feeling completely fresh, completely refreshed, and do web development and start earning a livelihood, and then go traveling with that skill, making money from it, sustaining myself, being able to do what I want basically, while enjoying what I do to earn an income, for an income stream. That's kind of the goal over the next year or two. See how it goes. But it's not, I mean, again, it's not that web development may be the most fun for me, but I do think I could pursue it if I weren't kind of clouded, if I weren't kind of burdened by this sort of self-expectation and shit. That's kind of all I have to say though. I'm going to have a hopefully relaxing weekend that isn't evaded by self-expectation, and hopefully chill out, because it's a hell of a day. Adios.